Portland cares, so here's what's at stake Sunday. To clinch the 6th seed and avoid the play-in tournament, the Lakers need to beat the Pelicans and have the Trailblazers lose at home to the Nuggets, and the Denver has standings motivations as well. Otherwise, the Lakers are in that play-in tournament, but they had a 99% chance to avoid a few months ago, according to our Basketball Power Index.
They're powerful. For the first time in 3 months, the big three back together on the court, playing in the same game for the Brooklyn Nets. You know who they are. James Harden, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant. Playing together for just the 8th time this season. Last game they all played together, February 13th. Harden to Jeff Green. Get out of his way. Later, James Harden sharing, he's so good at it, threads the needle to Bruce Brown. Harden had 7 assists in this game. He leads the team with 95 assists this season when the big three plays. Durant, not his greatest game, by the way. But you know what? It's the regular season, and we're winding it down. Durant backs down his defender, and he'll miss the fadeaway J. Later, KD. You got to keep shooting, but he misses from the paint. Later, the big three working it in the wing, but Durant will miss from long range. Durant shot 23.5% from the floor, 4 of 17 from the field. Lowest percentage this season. What about Kyrie Irving? All right, he set the tone in this first half. I mean, he was on fire. He drained a 3 from the top of the key there. Later, Kyrie sinking the baseline J, putting the Nets up by 5. Later in the second, Nets up 1. Irving sinking the jumper, Nets up 3. Still in the second with the Nets up 4. Irving kept shooting and kept hitting. He finished with 22 points in the game. 20 of those points came in that first half. Nets won. Durant finished with 12 points, 9 boards, 6 assists. Harden, 5 points and 7 assists. But all that matters is a 105-91 victory for Brooklyn.
I didn't feel weird at all. It's just a matter of us, I guess, get more minutes together. We're all elite. We've been playing a game of basketball so long, and so we kind of know how to play, the right way. So it's just about the amount of minutes that we can play together.
We've all been playing the game for a while, so I feel like we can adjust and adapt as time goes on, and injuries kept us away from playing with each other, but mentally we were always locked in. It's just a matter of us actually playing minutes now, but we always been in constant communication with each other and trying to figure out the best ways to play.
While Kevin Durant and James Harden were focused on the big three being back together, Kyrie Irving's attention was not on the game of basketball. Irving, who is a recently converted Muslim, used his post-game platform to talk about the current violence between the Palestinians and Israel.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. A lot of stuff is going on in this world, and basketball is just not the most important thing to me right now. There's a lot of stuff going on overseas. All my people are still in bondage all across the world, and there's a lot of dehumanization going on. So, I apologize if I'm not going to be focused on y'all questions. It's just too much going on in the world for me to just be talking about basketball. Like, I focus on this 24/7 most of the time, but it's just too much going on in this world not to address. It's sad to see this going on. And it's not just in Palestine. It's not just in Israel. It's all over the world, man. And I feel it. I'm very compassionate to all races, all cultures, and to see a lot of different people being discriminated upon or against, being discriminated against based on their religion, color of their skin, what they believe in. It's just sad. We all say we're human beings and we care and we're compassionate, but what are you doing to help? And being in this gym, I'm grateful for opportunity. Yeah, it's a blessing, but my goal out here, my purpose is to help humanity, and I can't sit here and not address that. I don't care which way you stand on either side. If you're a human being, then you would support, the anti-war effort that's going on. There's a lot of people losing their lives, children, a lot of babies, and that's just what I'm focused on. So if you guys want to ask me questions about the game, I really don't care about it, but except just everybody leaving out of the game healthy and being able to go home to their families.
Getting back to basketball, when Kyrie and the Nets return to the court, they'll have to overcome a lack of continuity with their big three to win a championship. Saturday was just the 8th time, worth repeating, the Nets' big three played together. The fewest games played by an eventual champion's top 3 scorers is 10 by the 2001 Lakers with Kobe, Shaq, and Fisher. Ah, yes, of course, in the crease.
Sunday morning, not just any Sunday, though. This is the last day of the NBA's regular season.
And now the 7 words from Frank Vogel about LeBron James that should strike fear into the hearts of the Western Conference. He looked like his old self again. LeBron played like his old self too. 24 points, 7 rebounds, 8 dimes in a Lakers win over the Pacers. And remember, he missed 6 weeks with the ankle sprain. Then he came back for 2 games. Then he sat for 6 more, was back. And it helped to get 28 points and 10 rebounds from Anthony Davis. Plenty at stake in the regular season finale. Dave McMenamin.
The Lakers can avoid the play-in tournament with a win on Sunday in New Orleans, coupled with a Denver win over Portland. The question is, do they want to? Finishing in 6th would earn them a date with Denver and likely league MVP Nikola Jokic. Finishing in 7th would mean the play-in tournament, and then the Suns or the Jazz in the first round should they get through it. My opinion is, win as many games as you can and let the seeds fall where they may, and be unafraid of any matchup, Lakers coach Frank Vogel said. Vogel was non-committal on whether LeBron James, Dennis Schroeder, and Anthony Davis, who all played Saturday after missing time recently, would play against the Pelicans. He said the medical staff would determine their availability on Sunday. LeBron sounded confident no matter how the regular season winds up. Let the chips fall where they may, he said. Simple as that. We're ready to go.
All right, Dave McMenamin, you heard him say the play-in tournament still a possibility for the Lakers. They're the 7th seed, slated for it. The only way they can move out to the 6th, got to beat the Pels. Blazers got to lose to the Nuggets. Meanwhile, Steph Curry and the Warriors, they host the Grizzlies at 3:30 Eastern on ESPN for the 8th seed in the West. And remember, being the 8th seed gives you 2 chances to win 1 game to make the playoffs. The 9th seed has to win 2 games to make the playoffs. Also on ESPN, 1 Eastern, the Knicks hosting the Celtics. New York is the 4th seed by virtue of owning the head-to-head tiebreaker over the Hawks. So if they beat Boston, they will get home court advantage in the first round.
The Nets will either be the 2 or the 3 seed in the East. Speaking of 3, the big 3, they actually played together, and the timing could not be more perfect because if this game against the Bulls is any indication, they're going to need some work, some chemistry, if you will. The Nets won, but Steve Nash described it as not very sharp. Kyrie had 22, Durant shot 23%, and Harden added just 5.
All right, the Suns still fighting for the top seed out west, and they sure played like it in San Antonio. 37-point winners over the Spurs. They got 27 from Devin Booker to help get the Suns their 50th win of the season. First time they've done that in 11 years. They can clinch the 1 seed today if they beat the Spurs again, and the Jazz lose to the Kings. Spurs locked into the 10 seed.
Taking the bitter with the sweet Saturday. Hall of Fame induction day. Kobe Bryant's basketball card, the back of it, first ballot. 5-time NBA champion, winning finals MVP in 2 of those. 18-time All-Star, 15-time All-NBA selection. Also won Olympic gold twice. Took home an Oscar for his animated short film, Dear Basketball. Here's his widow.
I used to always avoid praising my husband in public because I felt like he got enough praise from his fans around the world, and someone had to bring him back to reality. Right now, I'm sure he's laughing in heaven because I'm about to praise him in public for his accomplishments on one of the most public stages. I can see him now, arms folded, with a huge grin saying, "Isn't this some?" I want to thank my husband. He did the work. He broke those records, and he inspired people to be great. I want to thank him for somehow finding ways to dedicate time to not only being an incredible athlete, a visionary entrepreneur and storyteller, but for also being an amazing family man. To our girls, Natalia and Gianna, thank you for sacrificing so much time away from Daddy so that he could focus on being the best at everything he set his mind to do. Bianca and Capri, I'm so happy you're here to see this tonight. Daddy was incredible. He loves you girls so very much. Congratulations, baby. All of your hard work and sacrifices paid off. You once told me, if you're going to bet on someone, bet on yourself. I'm glad you bet on yourself, you overachiever. You did it. You're in the Hall of Fame now. You're a true champ. You're not just an MVP. You're an all-time great. I'm so proud of you. I love you forever and always. Kobe Bean Bryant.
Whoa. I've got chicken skin on that. And the only way we can follow that is with a friend. And we got Andrew Bernstein here, a friend of Kobe Bryant's, a business partner, and the NBA's #1 photographer. What was it like in that room, given that's posthumously Kobe Bryant awarded the Hall of Fame?
Well, Neil, first of all, thanks for having me on. It was a heavy night, but it was also a night of celebration. I mean, Kobe's body of work, his obviously deserving to be in the Hall of Fame. But, we all felt it. We all knew it. I think most of the speakers spoke about it. The other enshrinees spoke about missing him or what he meant to them. And then, of course, when Vanessa got up there and spoke, just like at the memorial 15 months ago, it wasn't a dry eye in the house, and that'll include me, because she just shows incredible strength, and it was a beautiful, beautiful tribute to him.
These are some of the pictures you took of Kobe Bryant over his celebrated career. You picked 2. How many have you taken of him? 500,000?
Yeah, I'd say that's a fair guess, Neil. Yeah, about
okay,
500,000.
500,000. You chose 2 that you feel represent his Hall of Fame career. Show us and tell us why.
Well, I think the photo from the 2001 finals where he's sitting in the shower, it's a little bit reminiscent of my Michael Jordan photo from '91 when Michael was hugging the trophy and was very emotional. All kind of chaos is going on in the locker room about 6 feet away, but he needed some time for himself. Somehow myself and a video camera guy found him. It just speaks to what it all meant to him, the journey and the achievement. And, it's truly the Mamba mentality right there.
All right. And what's number 2?
Well, number 2 is a photo of mine. I know you like this photo because you've told me before you like it, but this was during the 2009-10 season, and we were in Madison Square Garden. I was traveling with the team, and Kobe was beat up. Both ankles needed to be put in ice, and he's got his busted finger in a little coffee cup with ice, and literally willing himself to play that night. Night after a back-to-back, a lot of players might have just kind of mailed it in or just asked for the night off, but not this guy. I mean, he never let an injury get him down, and this kind of speaks to me really strongly about the Mamba mentality and what it really, really means.
Andy, our show's always better when you're on it. You better believe that we're going to have more from the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame induction. You're going to hear from Kevin Garnett and Tim Duncan later on SportsCenter.
Thanks, Neil.
As we all know, Kobe, a big supporter of women's sports, especially the WNBA. Here he was sitting